on here.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna link this all back together so it's documented, and then do a walkthrough. And then they keep saying that, well, you're revealing private information, but it looks like these guys are working counterintelligence for, and I'm guessing, the National Reconnaissance Office.
Yeah.
And I'm from a military family, but I was never in the military, from an Army family. And some of my family, well, like a couple generations. So from what I'm told, I have a cousin that does, like, just kind of links stuff that's interesting about military intelligence, but he's not in it either. So, okay, so I went to...
Hold on, what are you showing me? Because I still see that app.
Oh, well, I don't have the video on, so I'm going to tell you in a minute.
Cool. Right.
And then, so that way everybody can do the walkthrough. So I guess I shouldn't use anybody's name specifically, and then that way they're less likely to pull a video. But we already mentioned Nark Lice's Camp Pendleton address and how to find him on, what is it, findfamilytree.com or whatever. Uses
you know what? I actually landed on that webpage, but I didn't pay no mind because I didn't know what Camp Pendleton was, and I said, oh shoot, when he told me about it.
Well, that comes from me being from military family. It's like I ought to just automatically just assume this stuff. I guess maybe my grandfather was a stationary or some shit. I don't really understand it half the time, what the fuck is going on. But I know it was an Army base. I think it's a pretty old one. And I do remember him making videos there. He's made 2 of them. He's pulled one. But he went there and documented some protest about some... Nobody can question...
Yeah, because you know what they do? They go in as COINTELPRO. They're the COINTELPRO. They're the ones that hold up the cameras and...
Exactly. They're trying to document what other people are doing so they can go back later and say, well, we saw you here at this protest and whatever, and then string them up by the balls and say, you're not allowed to protest anything.
Yeah, that's what Bilderberg is for. They go in there with their cameras and shit.
I don't know what the deal with Bilderberg is. When I go there, I have my glasses and my hat on, and some of the other people do that, but I think the main guy sold out. Like, I think he was legitimate, and then 4 years ago, he stopped making videos and starts having David Icke on his show. So I think somebody literally said, here's $5,000 and bought his ass for like some measly sum of change.
Or you think the WikiLeaks leak of Stratford was warning to Jones and like that they bought him off or something?
I don't know what happened with that. That guy that's involved with that WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, he comes off as kind of like a New World Order elite, weird shill type of person.
Yeah.
Like, he gives good speeches, it's never really any content in it. It's kind of like listen to Webster Tartley ramble for a half an hour. Or this other guy we were talking about, the CIA guy. It never really any...
Pretending.
Yeah, but there's never any really good content in there. So anyway, I got a thing up. You go to Wikipedia.
All right.
And the when I was doing research on this, because I suspected that this Marine base is a counterintelligence base, because like you said, it's COINTELPRO, it's counterintelligence.
Yeah.
So I did some research on that, and you'll be able to search specific documents to see what their operating procedures are. Why they have them posted online, I have no idea. But they're old documents. I know that before the main guy sold out, he used to have General Stutterstein on, who was in charge of the Star Wars program and developing counterintelligence in the 80s.
Yeah, I remember that.
And a lot of the people whistle blew and leaked stuff out. So you go and you research that. They'll link a CAG in Wikipedia. So you go and look up Third Civil Affairs Group or Third Civil Affairs Group, Third CAG in the Wikipedia search.
Third Civil.
I sent you a screen cap of it. I have it up here.
What is it called? Third Civil what?
Civil Affairs Group, or Third CAG is the abbreviation. They always use acronyms in the military. So CAG is Civil Affairs Group.
It's third with 3RT, right?
Huh?
I got it now.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
And of course, you read the first 2 lines, and it says,
is a civil affairs CA unit of the United States Marine Corps based Naval Station, Great Lakes. Oh, you know what? You know what the funny part is, man?
Right.
You saw that trap I put out?
Yeah, where you had a video with nothing on it, and it got like 30 dislikes and 8 views in like an hour.
What I did earlier? I put another one. With a link on it, and I said your IP has been captured, because I said Ry Dawson was caught being an Israeli operative. So I said it's too hot for YouTube, and then I put a link, and then I captured the IPs, and one of those links linked up to Illinois, and it must have. I got the list still right here. You want to go look?
Well, Sherry Lee had a good point where they're all using actors. I don't know if they're all actors, but it's like a studio set. He'll set something up and talk about, I'm going to discredit this or that. There'll be 50 issues. He'll address 3 issues on the table. And the really important issues, he'll just do a dance by. He won't even address them. And then he'll address whatever main issues that he's doing. And then just group bulk everything like he was at a flea market and say, so you have to discredit this whole thing because I discredited these 2 or 3 issues.
Yeah. But nah, that's really funny. One of those, like, I was trying to catch whoever the hell was running those sock accounts.
Sock puppets.
Yeah, sock puppets. One of those rang up at Illinois. I'm gonna check it again.
They all have at least 2 or 3 sock puppets. The way when we put that one video up and they started attacking, it was like it instantly set up 2 or 3 sock puppets and attacked us from the 2 or 3 sock puppet accounts.
So how did you go wind up on this dirt civil affairs group? Like, how did you?
Okay, well, the second line here, like if you read the second line, it says based at Camp Pendleton, California. Are you on that page?
Oh yeah, I see that right now. Yeah.
Okay, so we know that Nark Lice is at Camp Pendleton, and I'm trying to research a counterintelligence group because I'm pretty sure Camp Pendleton does counterintelligence, and then I think they list Naval Facility Anacostia, which is the main counterintelligence group for the Marines. But also they're at the center of that Bilderberg thing with the NRO. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The National Reconnaissance Organization. And I have to really wonder if I'm going to put all this out. So I have to talk to you too. All right. So now you're going to go to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
And you go back. There's a searches already up there. But I'm going to open it up here because I got the whole thing going here. And you're going to type David Kokesh. Now I'm trying to find if he has a real name, what his real name is, and resume. There's nothing up there, but there's these.
Adam Kokesh?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Who's David Kokesh? Or Adam Kokesh?
Adam Kokesh is who we're talking about. I keep getting distracted because I think almost they picked these names as kind of a sheep dip, but I'm not really sure. All right, go in the right column here where it says born February blah blah blah. It gives some personal details. It doesn't really.
Oh, third civil affairs group. I see that.
So you just linked it all together. Where are they based at?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Where are they based at?
Oh my god, so yeah, man.
They're based at Camp Pendleton.
It's fucking crazy.
There's no other information other than friggin' Camp Pendleton.
Wow. No wonder he fucking interviewed Mark Dice first.
So you have to wonder, well, on his personal information for Nark Lice, it says that he's in his 30s. So so I have this space dream. If it says he's a corporal, so corporal is one rank below an officer. So he's not an officer. Most people in the military, it's a pyramid scheme. Most people at the bottom are privates and corporals. So I suspect Nark Lice is, for some reason, I suspect he's an officer. And somebody said he's living in officers' quarters. Of course, I don't have that much information, but you know, I do a step back in my mind and I go, okay, these guys are in their 30s and they start being activists 6 or 7 years ago, maybe in their 20s. 2002, Bush goes into Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're guarding opium fields in Afghanistan. For some reason in my mind, I see this guy who a couple people says half the time he's like pale and his eyes are all glazed over. So in my mind, I kind of see him in Afghanistan being inducted, and they say, well, you know, if you're not sleeping good at night, you lick a poppy and go to sleep or whatever. And then these last couple of videos, after the ones where they're together, you see more Nark Lice sweating. And he's sweating profusely.
Looks high all the time, right?
Huh?
He kind of looks like he's on drugs, right?
Yeah, because I'm 300 pounds and I'm 6'2". I'm a bigger guy than you. I need to lose some weight.
Or something like he has cold sweats from withdrawals or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's like withdrawing or DTing.
Yeah. Oh, and there's you bring up a good point. They're like around the same age, so I'm guessing they go way back. Shit.
The ding.
Yeah.
You know, they're back in Afghanistan licking poppies, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, let's make a video together and attack Alex Jones. And, you know, and then, yeah, it's a distraction because they're gatekeeping. They're not really, like you and I could put 5 or 10 things on the table to attack Alex Jones for, and he says he's a Kool-Aid drinker.
But, that's an instant ban if you go put that Camp Pendleton, Mark Dice's thing.
I think if I put this one up, I'm going to get attacked. So, I mean, because...
You should try. You should just try and say, Kokesh, you just been busted with whatever, Mark Dice, Camp Pendleton. What do you have to say about that? And usually they won't say nothing. They'll just block you. And that's a good sign. You're on to something.
Well, we already know we're on to something because it's starting to stack up like everybody in the group is get paid off, which is unfortunate because it just, well, except for maybe Ron Paul, because he's also attacking Ron Paul.
Yeah. So do you know what unit this guy Pete Santelli was when he was in the Army?
Don't really know, but also like with my autism, I do magic card tricks. So if we lay the card tricks on the table, well, I told Sherry Lee, but then if I put the cards on the table now, put the video up that I'm making now, we could do what's called a FIFO, which is a Freedom of Information Act. And in that case, we would write Camp Pendleton and request for all documents related to counterintelligence against American people without funding and authorization from Congress. And then each one lists this character, Pete Snitch Shillary, Nark Lice, and Adam Koko the Gorilla, or whatever the heck his name is going to be.
Yeah. I really think that guy, Ray, whatever his name is, Ray Dawson.
He's a different kind of animal. He's some kind of actor or something.
I think he's living in a military base in Japan, man.
Well, he
looks like he lives in a dorm.
They do, like when, you know, after World War II, which is two family members was in World War II, we established documented bases in Japan and Germany to make sure they didn't rebuild their military forces. And the base in Japan is in Okinawa, and he said he's in some other base in the southern middle.
Oh, so he's actually in a base? No,
not on the base. I'm sorry. He's in some country in the middle, lower section of Japan, but it would be kind of maybe in the middle, away from Okinawa. But the whole island's only 300 by 100 miles, so he might be 25 or 50 miles away from Okinawa.
And you know why he wanted Japan?
Huh?
Do you know the reason why he moved?
He doesn't give any excuse. He said he was going to college and he's learning, teach. You know, sometimes people go there and they want to teach karate
or some shit.
No, they want to teach English. You can get jobs in Japan teaching English, but it's rough because they don't really accept Americans there. You're in a culture that's Japanese and you're trying to teach. So I mean, I think they call him a gaikan or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I heard that term in baseball.
Yeah.
But nah, man, you're onto something for real. That's crazy, man. Fucking.
Now what I do? Post it on a sock puppet account or something?
Nah, man, just go straight up with yours, and they won't ban.
Well, then it's gonna take the whole freaking channel down and the Ron Paul videos and everything.
Nah, man, they ain't gonna take your channel down. If they haven't took mine down, they won't take yours down.
You think they'll just maybe sanitize the video?
They'll freaking thumb you down like crazy, but just disable voting on that shit.
I'm disabling a lot of stuff. Like I think made 1 penny on the channel, and I enabled, you know, profit sharing like 3 or 4 years ago, and some of my videos got like 17,000 hits or something, and people come there and watch a freaking commercial, and I don't get no money for it. So I don't like watching the commercials, so I took them off. If I'm an activist and I ain't getting no money on it, then the commercials come off. I'm not
Why
making,
does third and first civil affairs group, why do they say they're saying, never mind, they don't share the same page, but when I click Adam Kokesh's third whatever, it goes to first civil affairs.
oh, well, I'll click that too and see what happens. It should go to that page that I mentioned in the beginning, and you're right. It goes to the first civil affairs group, which is also a Camp Pendleton.
Oh yeah, too, Camp Pendleton. Damn, man. I guess second is in Camp Pendleton too, right?
Yeah, it tells you their mission, plan, and execute civil military operations while serving as a liaison between military forces and civil authorities, the local population, and non-government organizations. So maybe they're acting as liaisons with, you know, one of these other agencies that they set up in the last 10 years.
The thing about Mark Dice is he lied about like going to college in San Diego. Probably just.
He had to. He's, you know, when I talked to him a couple years back because he seemed legitimate, and then he starts attacking Catholics and crap and saying that the Catholic Church is wrong. I got no respect for him at all. And he puts it in a book, and he's saying, "Oh, I got the book, and you need to." I'm not paying $17 when the NRO
Yeah,
is.
that's how they run their operations. They ask for donations.
You gotta be stupid.
DVDs and shit.
They don't have to. They got the government funding them.
Yeah.
It's just
but I guess
disinformation.
there's like I don't know, because like most of them they do that. Like that's a good sign of spotting like a shill and shit.
Right, if they're putting out a lot of disinformation. I try to document the information that's there, and then people can go through it themselves.
Yeah. But the important thing is what we're doing now. We got to expose all these shills and shit because they're the ones that are pushing all this shit.
And then immediately they attack us and say we're doing it.
Yeah. But people are starting to wake up. They're like crazy. Like Alex Jones literally lost like 25% of his audience.
Oh, he's got to be hit hard after this because there's 5 or 6 videos that keep linking him back to Stratford, and I think he must have just sold out recently because all his information was good up till about 4 years ago, and now it's like 5% cat pee.
Yeah, you know what I think? That's what I think happened. What I told you, the WikiLeaks Stratford leak.
It was like a threat. Don't mess with us or something.
Threat, but they didn't they didn't leak InfoWars stuff. They just leaked other shit.
Right. I don't know what he's going to do if he sold out because they're going to consider him property. It's like if you join the mafia in New York or something, it could be like your property now.
Yeah.
But you were saying something about Mark Dice, and then I started rambling about the Third Civil Group and him.
Yeah, Mark Dice going to college, making believe he was going to college.
Yeah, he was saying that when I talked to him a couple years ago, because I was interested at first, and then when the book threw me off. But he was saying he had a degree in what's that one where media thing that you get a degree in? It'll come to me in a minute.
Media, marketing or something?
No, the one where you take little TV courses and they teach you how to talk like you're in a 1950s movie. I'm in a 30 figure.
Those courses, they're freaking actors and shit. They're reading off fucking scripts, so they gotta.
But if he's a lieutenant, if he's living in officer's base and he's a lieutenant, then that means he went through OCS, some sort of Marine officer candidacy school.
Isn't he like automatically a lieutenant because he's in Camp Pendleton? Because I searched their apartments. They're like.
Well, no, just the apartments he's at from what we heard. But the other guy, he's a corporal. So just where you're at, it's a pyramid scheme. So, you know, there might be one lieutenant, you might have 5 sergeants under you and 20 privates, or, you know, and 10 corporals or some nonsense like that. And then he might have a lieutenant major or colonel above him.
So we know Camp Pendleton is like a source of shills and shit, so I'm guessing there's more people.
It's a military intelligence, counterintelligence op of some sort.
Do you think they're working with the Russians, because the Russians seem to have a whole bunch of...
I think it's scripted, because the day after Bilderberg, Abby Martin was giving me like a whole bunch of shit. There was something that happened where I got minor shot under the table by Alex. And I don't have any business deals with Alex or anything, so it's not really any kind of... I don't really care. But Abby Martin was setting off my radar because, in addition to that, she's hanging around Mark Dice and making videos of Luke Rudowski. And the day after Bilderberg, they all go. Well, it wasn't them, but it was Russia TV went to that burger place around here that Obama likes, and they took Medvedev, who's the prime minister now, to have a hamburger with Obama, and RT's like coming along. See, RT's presenting the image that, hey, we're alternative media, and then they go and have a hamburger with Medvedev. You know what I mean? So they're it's like they're insiders, but they're trying to present themselves as alternative media.
What are those Jews called that came out of Russia again? Where there's a certain term for them?
The Spetsnaz? The Special Forces?
With a K or something.
KGB?
Not Karzar or some shit.
Karzar. Well, he's
like Jews. There's a certain kind of Jews.
Cossacks. Those are kind of like the southern Slovenian, Bulgarian. They don't like them because they're kind of like, well, it's kind of like you're from the wrong side of town. Like in Baltimore, it's Dundalk, and I don't know what the wrong side of town is in New York. Is it Brooklyn or something, or
probably like
Bronx?
Yeah, Brooklyn or the Bronx or some shit.
Yeah, so Cossacks, they're like from the wrong side of town. But I think what it is like there's a lot of evidence that came out with the moon landing being hoaxed, and it's like whenever the U.S. gets caught with their pants down, Russia's always sitting there with their finger over their lips like Dr. Evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that, and like the thing that was scripted with Medvedev having burgers with Obama, it's like, you know, they're not flashing secret hand signals like the president of Israel and our president having lunch together. They're making funny little hand signals, but you know, RT is not coming out with anything.
So do you think before, like, say Alex Jones just sold out, do you think Mark Dice and people like Adam Kokesh, those are the real shills? Like
I think they have different branches. In other words,
they have branches, right?
They're in the they're in the military forces, and they say, well, you can have a job in counterintelligence, and you'll be helping to disrupt forces like, you know, in Afghanistan and Iraq. And they tell them, oh, but secretly we got these people trying to disrupt the government here. And then meanwhile, if you're trying to do anything legitimately to fix what the problems are, they're like, no, we're going to go out and attack these people that are legitimately trying to fix things because, you know, we like things broken. We like our military contracts and all that. And then I think what they do is that one guy that was in the CIA, we were asking him, and somebody linked up and said they're getting funding through the NDAA. When I searched that document, they pointed to all the funding for Iraq. So in other words, they want to the Congress wants them to deliberately disrupt media in Iraq or something, because that stands to reason. If you're trying to change people's mindset and you're in a war with a country, you want to disrupt them. I think they're taking money out of that and then using it to fund these other, you know, things in the country. So right there, that needs, you know, if anybody gets a whiff of that, Congress, that needs congressional oversight that people are misappropriating funds.
Yeah.
And
I think the sock accounts are coming from military bases, because when I upload Alex Jones videos, they don't get dumbed down. Like when I upload Mark Dice videos, I get a whole bunch of sock accounts and people threatening me and shit. And I'm guessing Ray Dawson, like I told you, I'm guessing he's a military operative too, because they got just as crazy when I uploaded a video about him.
I don't know what's going on. They had a base in South Carolina, and he was doing activism work, and he had a bunch of videos. I think maybe he just
you say he used
money.
To live in South Carolina?
North Carolina, I'm sorry. And he was doing
Carolina.
activists against this beach there that was suffering major erosion called Hatteras. I'll do mental tricks, so I remember by saying hat or ass.
Yeah.
And they have Air Force base there, but I don't have anything definitive yet to link him with anything other than the fact that whenever you confront him on something, he does the Alex Jones monkey dance and then tries to change the subject and then, you know, pick apart something else.
Oh man, how about Brandon J. Rubb? Do you know what unit he comes out of?
It's a good point. I mean, he got a visit from Adam Kokesh when all that thing happened, but we could maybe look, see if he's in Wikipedia and see if it says. It says he's a Marine, which I already knew.
He had an interview with the Blaze. He's a total show. You could just see how like smart he is and shit. I guess they pick smart people to do.
Yeah, but they ain't got anybody that walked to the grocery store to pay for a college degree and has 140 IQ and can build computers out of a dumpster.
Yeah.
They don't have hood rats. So we got hood rats. It just says.
But man, I don't think they got nobody to replace anybody with, because everybody's just going down the shit.
I suspect one person. I suspect they might be grooming one person.
Who?
I don't want to say, but you know, it's one new person that's all over the place sometimes. So, but we're gonna have, huh?
On the radio?
No, not yet. But yeah, I mean, they might be putting all the cards on the table right now as far as playing the game.
I think personalities and stuff like that, I think that's done, man.
They analyze that when they're trying to select people. Like you said, they want people who are smart, and they want somebody who has a lot of charisma. So right there, they're saying we're looking for people for intelligence work, and we want to evaluate their charisma, and then they're probably looking for somebody who maybe has 110 IQ or 120 IQ. Somebody who's just like over the average, just a little bit over average.
Yeah. What is the deal with the American Freedom Radio, man? They got a whole bunch of shows on that shit.
Haven't heard them, but they had one that was attacking Alex when he was legitimate, called Wing TV or something. And then it was like every alternative one was doing non-stop monkey dances, which is kind of what Petey's doing. Petey Snitch Shillary. He's like doing a non-stop, because you pull out the military, the COINTELPRO documents, and then he's running it per script, and you call him one, and then he starts doing the Alex Jones monkey dances.
Man, I guarantee Pete Santilli comes out of the same unit these guys come out of, because he lives right next to San Diego, man.
The only thing we had to do
he's supposedly from New York. What the fuck is he doing in California?
The only thing we'd have to do is do a FIFO, but as soon as we do a FIFO, then we have our personal information there. They're gonna put that in the shit pile and be like, well, this person, he's trying to expose our shitty network, and we need to put him on the list. But maybe somebody else gets that information. They could do the Freedom of Information Act request to write Camp Pendleton, because when I was researching, it says you have to write whatever agency you want it from. But there was one other thing. I was doing a search for Robert Parker InfoWars, because they had the video that Sherry Lee had up, and supposedly Alex got a visit, and 24 hours later the whole web page is gone. So I did a search to see if that page was up anywhere, and it wasn't. But they had linked an article from a year before where some little old lady living in Chicago gets a visit from FBI agent Robert Parker.
You think that's the same Robbie Parker from the CNN interview?
I don't know, but it could be. I mean, so if somebody's going to do a FIFO, they could write the FBI and do a FIFO on Robert Parker and say, well, is this the same Robert Parker that had the little girl shot at the school in Sandy Hook? Wherever Massachusetts is it?
So that same Robert, where is he from? That FBI agent.
Oh, I don't know, but I did a basic check, because that's like if you got a fake ID or something and there's stickers peeling in the corner. And I dug around a little bit, and they had another video that said he had just moved to Sandy Hook, Massachusetts, like a month before from whatchamacallit, New Mexico. So it's kind of like that whole deal with 9/11 where, that guy buys the buildings like a month before the whole thing.
Yeah. It's crazy. But you have Patrick Henry's Skype, so you could
Not yet. Information? Not yet. But it would be cool to have 3 people, but I don't know. And I guess maybe now I'll upload the video and he can comment on it, or he can contact me.
Yeah, don't upload it now, because you're going to get hit by people across the pond and you want to be awake. So if I were you, I'll upload it at 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. tomorrow.
In the morning when everybody's fucking sleeping?
Nah. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. when people are awake. Because the mistake I did today, I uploaded that Ryan Dawson video at like 6 a.m. shit. So he's obviously in Japan and he saw it.
Well, if they're counterintelligence ops, most of them are going to be sleeping and get up at 9 o'clock and start chilling early in the morning.
Shit. But nah, you can upload it now if you want. But I'm just saying I'm going to be asleep. So if you want my help.
It's going to take a while because it's going to be a fat video when I get done. I don't know how long. It's probably going to be like 20 or 30 minutes. It's probably going to take a couple hours to upload it.
Oh, you should just make it a documentary or make it seem like one, like the Camp Pendleton.
Well, it's going to be like one now because we're talking about it and I'm recording it. So.
All right, cool. So use whatever we're talking about. It probably seems cool like that.
If it's cool with you.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Don't worry about it. But yeah, man, keep investigating. I was
digging around Pete, and I couldn't find anything about Pete. I mean, these people could all be using assumed names or sheep dip, and then
that's a fake.
They might all disappear tomorrow.
He's not Italian, trust me. He has a fake Italian name.
But if they're active and they disappear tomorrow, they're going back to Afghanistan. They're going to be unhappy. So you think about that while you're licking poppies in Afghanistan. How you sold your country out.
Yeah. Man, that's fucking obvious that Mark Dice is like suffering from withdrawals when he's making videos.
I'm 300 pounds. It's 100 degrees here. I sweat like that when I'm out cutting trees down and I take an hour break and drink some water.
Yeah.
I don't sweat that hard except for when I'm cutting up trees.
Oh, you think Mark Dice ever went to Afghanistan?
If he's withdrawn, yeah. Because, well, you heard that Colonel Six died last year, right?
Yeah, man. You know what I found funny about that? When he died, Alex Jones didn't even show sympathy for him.
He does that all the fucking time. Excuse my language.
He didn't even show sympathy.
How many people get thrown under the bus and he don't even hardly mention it? And he called in 3 or 4 times and he vetted them. And then, a couple months later after he vetted, he died. Somebody almost needs to file for the Freedom of Information Act on him, find out how he died.
Yeah, man.
Because nobody even knows. But he was saying he had the statistics because he was a colonel. He said that 25% of the soldiers that served in Afghanistan, this is the same statistic they had with Vietnam, were coming back addicted to opium. So I have a question in my head is, how are the soldiers being indoctrinated into licking opium or whatever they're doing? Maybe they just get it pure when they're over there and start smoking it or injecting it, or I don't really know. But that's a huge number. Yeah, but I know people on drugs are easier to control because they're DTing, and then it's like you probably got junkies in your neighborhood, and you'd be a hood rat with $10 and be like, I'll give you $10 to cut my lawn, rake up all the grass, and pick up all these beer cans, and then before you can even get the sentence out, they'll have the shit all bagged up and cut.
Yeah. Man, so keep investigating. I'm gonna freaking go to sleep, but I'm saying that was a good find right there. Now we link these two bastards together.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I probably found it before, but now it's like a bunch of people are waking up. That's the time to put it out, and you don't have to worry about somebody disappearing because people are already aware and looking for it.
Man, fuck it, man. You know what I noticed about these shows? That they're disposable and they at least don't give a fuck.
They own them. They own them. Yeah. It's like that one guy.
I think they don't care if you bash them like crazy. They don't care.
It's like
that's what I noticed.
It's like them guys that were bringing them high dollar hookers at Bilderberg. It's like they probably were like, do you mind if I poop on you and lick cheese whiz off my elbow or whatever? And they just do not. They're totally crazy. That part is true. They're crazy. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't have any empathy for Mark. They don't have any empathy for Nark, Lice, or Peter, or David. They're probably laughing if they're addicted. They're probably like, ha ha, we know these people, they're addicted. We could.
Yeah, like I told you, when they go to Bilderberg, they're there as the COINTELPRO. They're there with the cameras,
tape everybody, send it, upload it to the NRO right away.
They're the freaking elites, freaking whatever you want to call them, spies and shit.
I don't know. It's ridiculous. I don't know totally why they're there, but if they're paying so many people to be there, it's pretty gross.
Hey, come on, Luke is a total show. He's like a Russian, like.
You think he's a Cossack?
Yeah, man.
He's dark like a Cossack.
Yeah. He's suspect as hell, man.
I just think he looks like a Marine, so you don't have to dig very far to find him living on a Marine base.
He's got to be somebody's son, man. Like, what is Rudowski, anyways? That's Russian or some shit, right?
Oh, he's Polish.
Yeah.
He said he's an immigrant Polish. I don't speak a damn word of Polish. Could ask him something in Polish to see if he responds. I mean,
And
he seems...
What do the Polish have affiliation with them, Jews or Russians?
I'm sorry?
What do the Polish have affiliation with, the Jews or Russians?
Well, both. Poland was a satellite country until Reagan took down the wall, and then there was like 8 or so satellite countries that were Russian, and then they were on their own after the wall came down.
Yeah.
But there was, you know, a lot of the Russians didn't really like Jews a lot. They did like the socialists that threw a lot of them in camps and stuff because their goal was to get everybody off of religion. They said that. I think it was.
Yo, and how about the Syrian girl, about the lotion? How did you wind up on that?
Well, the person that I said I think is coming online keeps saying she's Scottish, which sometimes she does sound like she's Scottish, but right away they start almost diverting, and I thought, like, she almost comes off like one of these Israeli Mossad types.
Yeah.
But when this all started, like 6 years ago, so it started getting heavy, all the lotion girls, like, after 9/11, the Israelis got deported from the copters. And then they came back and there's these lotion kiosks that are kind of like absent. And then the next week or month, the Israelis show up. And I didn't even know what they were. And I was talking to somebody in my family because I'm from a military family. And they were like Mossad. And I'm like, what's that? And they were like, that's like the Israeli Special Forces Army people. But they said that all started out of a military base they had a long time ago. In 500 AD got overrun by the Roman Empire. And they said they would never let that happen again. But here they are doing the same darn thing today. So evidently they didn't learn from it at all.
Yeah, and you saw Amy two times, whatever the hell her screen name is. You saw her old videos talking about freaking Muslims converting into whatever and shit.
No, I don't have any tolerance for videos. You know, it's like Alex has her one and she's shilling, and it's like, I just block it out for what it is. It's like nails on a chalkboard, so I just change the channel.
But you see her old videos is all about Muslims, every Muslims and shit.
It was suspect when Alex introduced her for the first time. I pulled that video up, and he goes, and here's a Syrian girl, and she's from a very well-established, wealthy family in Syria, and she's calling in from an undisclosed location. It's kind of like if I introduced you as the king of the Bahamas, and you've defected, and now you're being chased by Bigfoot.
You know, somebody actually says she's an actress. You know that, right? She admitted that shit.
Well, I know that. I suspect that there's more leaks coming out from WikiLeaks. So in other words, we each have a feeling of what's going on. We're doing analysis about what's going on now, and we have our feelings. And then other people are confirming it in different ways, but then it kind of looks like there's leaks coming out, which is fine. And that might maybe they'll start shooting each other under the table. I don't know.
So what does WikiLeaks compare to InfoWars? Like, what does WikiLeaks serve? They're like they got different handlers or some shit?
Well, WikiLeaks just said that Stratfor was, because there's a video on WikiLeaks where they have a conference, and this all came out a year ago, and they just said there was, so many thousands of emails coming out, and they're bragging. It said they were a sloppy intelligence agency, and they said they had Swiss bank accounts or offshore bank accounts of some sort. They didn't identify them, with over $5 million in holdings. So in other words, they're making it look like they're Cayman Islands accounts or something, and they're paying alternative media under the table or buying information or whatever using this $5 million. It's probably from NDAA or congressional funding to operate in Syria or Iraq, and they're probably diverting it and using it for counterintelligence here.
Yeah.
Because that's what the other guy said. And I don't really understand where a private intelligence group would get funding unless they're selling big Berkeys and like bathtub things to fill water with, and whatever the ridiculous thing they're selling for the day is.
What the hell is the deal with Chenik and shit? Like, that makes sense though. Like the Infowars graphic people, I think they're doing their graphics.
That looks like the same graphics to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that just came up.
Videos.
Huh?
And the same quality of videos.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with him too much. He's definitely CIA. He says he's intelligence.
He'll put you on some sort of list or some shit.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they're not allowed to operate here, so I guess he's working as a.
Like I guess like when they do those jobs, like they tired or some shit, and they just do that shit in their homes or something.
Well, the person that I had in my family said he was retired. When you retire, you get a gain in rank. So if somebody says they're retired and they never got their promotion in rank, then that's a flag right there. And then, you know, even if they're retired, they get money in the form of a retirement thing. But then they have slush account funds. So they could say, it would be like you and me say, we're going to go on a vacation from New York or Baltimore to tomorrow to the Bahamas. And then while we're down there, we might check out this bank and see what's going on with this bank and smoke a couple Cuban cigars and go on a boat trip and drink some beers or whatever. And then maybe come home with a pillowcase of money. I don't know.
You know when I think Alex Jones really got, like...
I'm thinking 4 years ago. I'm thinking 4 years ago.
Yeah, when he started talking about a fucking social network.
Well, he's been doing that all along, but he keeps changing it. Like, people were trying to help him, and he was not shilling for money. He started shilling for money 3 years ago. But, like, he had a lot of activists that were going to help him, and they put up... We had one going for a while. I think somebody named Sam put it up and offered to make graphics for it, and then it got hacked, and then it was like he totally lost interest for it. But if he's being bought out, then maybe the people that are buying him out are paying for it, and they just want to use it to, like, put cookies on people's pages and stuff like that. So I would suggest anybody goes to that site, close all their browsers, go log on, post a message, read it or whatever, then close that browser, and then open another browser or clean your cookies. Somebody had posted a really good plugin for, I use Firefox, and they said they were documenting all this, and they said get a plugin called Collusion. And if you go to a site like that, they put cookies on your site, they'll log the cookies, and then if you go to some other site, like let's say David Icke or whatever, and then they're sharing cookies or whatever, it'll track how those cookies are interacting on different websites. So collusion is like when people make deals under the back room and under the table back rooms, like unions and companies and stuff.
That's crazy. But yeah, man, I gave you Cher's email, right?
I have one for whatever, and I'm documenting everything, so I don't want to put... She doesn't care if people's personal information's out there. I don't want her to put her... If she's legitimate, I don't want anybody's personal information out there, because they'll probably have these kooks showing up on her. If somebody knocks on your door, tell them you got a warrant, get the fuck off my property.
Yeah. But really, I don't give a fuck, I'm saying, like...
Yeah. Well, you're in a shitty city, and I'm in a shitty city, so, like, if they want to come to the world's second most violent city and get lost and wind up at some...
Yeah, and I just tell them, why you fucking with me, man? The guy next door selling drugs, fuck with him and shit, like... Fuck.
Well, the police station's around the corner, so why is the guy next door selling drugs at the police station around the corner?
Yeah, like, fuck.
The police get lost or something on the way out of the neighborhood?
But yeah, man, I'm about to knock out, man. Like,
all right.
Investigating that shit. You got, like, just message me on YouTube and I'll see it.
All right.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, hit me up, man. Good work.
Good night.
All right, you too. Peace.